Hello, class. This is our Thursday, 10 a.m. chair class, and this is being pre-recorded for April, let me get this right, 29th. Wow, can you believe we're almost to the end of April? Pretty incredible. And then May comes along, and then, oh my gosh, all the rest of the year just seems to follow. So this is our class. It's pre-recorded because this is the week that I'm taking care of Mark, as I've stated in my two previous pre-recorded classes. This is a come as you are class. That means I'm not even putting yoga pants on today. I'm not going to take my shoes off because I want you to be able to just think that you can sit down in your chair and you can do some stretches and you can feel good and you can move in a way that just feels like you have a sense of freedom and in that chair. So I haven't changed from what I've had on all day. So you guys can just be as you are. Maybe some of you are in your pajamas or however that might be. Maybe some of you are in your birthday suit, whatever that might be. Have fun, enjoy, and let's just get a chair, be comfortable. If you have blocks, great. But if not, come as you are. Let's go ahead and get started. So we will sit in the chair and we will begin our practice with our legs open at about the same width as the legs of the chair, okay? So I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to have my feet forward just as I would if I were in a tree pose. And I'm just going to start to rock. I wanna start to rock and know that the next time you sit in a chair, if you feel like doing some rocking, you can. It doesn't have to be a rocking chair, right? And there's something about this rocking position that causes people to just feel comfort, feel cuddled. I think there's something physiological about it that just keeps that movement going in that water type way of flowing. And since our bodies are nearly 70% water, we get that flow going. And then when we stop that rocking motion, we're going to keep feeling those fluids inside of us just moving around, okay? So take advantage of the next time you're seated and do a little bit of rocking. All right, two more, downs and ups. And downs and ups. Good. And so that was a little faster than what we would be breathing in our yoga practice, but it got our heart rate going. We got that movement of that water inside of us going. And so now let's go ahead and let's do some side to side movements with our arms. Let's just first take them and just let them be kind of flippy floppy. And then we're going to do something else with them. Let's just flippy floppy them up and flippy floppy them down. I'm just taking a look at my shoes, because again, I'm in shoes today. And flippy floppy up and flippy floppy down. And now I'm going to start to take myself and I'm going to rock myself instead of forward and back, left and right. And again, at a faster pace than we would normally be doing, because usually we move with our breath. And we'll be doing some of that too, but just to do this, and I'm realizing because I'm coming as I am, that I have an undergarment, a bra on that's not quite, straps not quite staying up like one of mine would, that I would be wearing normally. So how's this feel? Just keep moving. And guess what? This is stretching out the side body. Now we're not holding it, but we're stretching it. And we're working in the middle of our body. And we were rocking forward and back. We were working on our abs as well. So do you want to take that seating in the chair that you do today and bring it into something that's going to help to tone you? Then do some rocking, left and right or forward and back. Let's do two more, left and right, and then right and left. And come to stillness, come to hands here, Come to your breath. Close your eyes. Depending on the speed that you were going, you didn't have to go fast. Depending on how high you were letting your left arm and right arm go. That increased your heart rate. So you can get cardio sitting in a chair, right? Wow, all these really nice things that we can get just from sitting right here. Now let's go ahead, take those knees in, internal rotation, take them out, come to the outside of the side of your shoe, if you're wearing shoes, inside and outside. If you want to do a little bit of that crisscross into that Charleston move, you can certainly do that as well. So we're going to just treat our legs a little bit like we did our arms and get some movement in there. That again is maybe a little faster pace than what we would do in some of our slower yoga stretches. And breathing and just feeling that difference with that internal rotation and then external rotation. Go ahead and come on to the outsides of your feet. And what this does, it really helps to the hips, the knees, all the joints, but it also helps with your ankle, right? If we are taking our ankle and we're finding a stretch, and let's hold it out here for a minute. We're holding that stretch in that outward position, right? With our sides of our feet into the ground. Then the next time that I might trip or maybe take my ankle over like this, it's used to being like this. So it's not maybe going to, and again, it depends on how fiercely you take and roll your ankle out, but and how much weight, all of that. But you might not have as severe a reaction to a turned ankle or a sprained ankle because you've been doing some of this opening and closing, all right? Good. All right, let's go ahead and take one leg forward. Take the other one up, push out, bring it in. Push out and bring it in. Let's add our arms to here. Bring it in, extend it out. Bring it in, extend it out. And you sit watching TV and do a little bit of this. And because I am not seated with my back against the chair, this is core strengthening. Yes. This is strengthening my leg, stretching it out a bit, using my arm muscles, squeeze in, let it release. 2 more. And situate that leg down, and then have it more in a neutral position. Lift the other one up, extend it out, and bring it in. Extend it out, bring it in, interlace in that opposite way. Keep your body upright as much as you can. Pull in, extend out, pull in, extend out. Keep trying to get that same opposite grip. It's going to feel a little weird because we're used to usually just being one-sided in our grip. See, my fingers just automatically went the other direction. So I have to consciously, so it's a mindful experience as well, to break that habit. And breaking habits does take our mind to assist us with that. How's that leg feeling? Bringing it in towards your abdomen there. Yeah, 2 more. And how are your abs feeling also right now? Good. Let's take some shoulder rolls. Next time you sit in a chair, out of this class, find yourself sitting away from the back of your chair or sofa, and let's do some shoulder rolls while you're watching that favorite show. Or take your hands off the computer screen and take a few shoulder rolls back, because as we're at that computer screen, we're probably like this. As we're watching TV, sunk in our sofa, we're probably like this. Can you take some time in your day to just do this? Maybe a couple in the other direction, not as many, because again, we end up being more in that position than we are in the other. And then let's go ahead and just take your hands kind of like this so that we don't run into the chair at all, because we're going to take and make scissors. Okay, so we have done our side body stretches and leg stretches. We started out with that up and down. We started out with that forward and back, right? Sliding, rocking. That's what we were doing. And take my mind back there a little bit. And now we're cutting through the air with our arms. Can you do this? Maybe you don't want to do it too crazily. You don't want to definitely hit somebody that might be sitting next to you or around you when you're doing this, or any of the other movements. Are you keeping your back as straight as possible? Are you feeling your heart rate going up? And if you don't want it to go up so fast, then keep your arms a little bit lower, okay? So take it to that place. Same with all those other movements. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more times. Good. And let's get into our regular breath again. After that kind of aerobic experience, cardio experience, I guess, not aerobic so much because we didn't do it for 20 minutes or so. And that's usually gets you more into that aerobic phase. But let's go ahead and work our ankles. And again, I'm wearing my shoes today, Come As You Are yoga class, so that you can take these movements and come as you are, any place, anytime you find yourself seated in a chair. And maybe what might be a good thing to do, and it's just coming to me as a little assignment, you don't have to, would be to just log the time that you're seated in a day or 2 or 3, or maybe take it into a week, and just see where you're seated most of the time and how many hours are in that chair, and what we can do to activate ourselves a little bit more in that chair. Okay, just something simple like what I'm doing right here. Okay, I'm going to place my foot down and take one foot in, cross the other one over. That's not available, then slide it on down, take it to a block, and let's take some ankle rotations. Can you sit away from the back of your chair in your day? Can you sit away from the back of that sofa in your day and take some ankle rotations and take it in the other direction? And again, this is going to assist you in your gait. It's going to assist you in strengthening your ankles, all the muscles that are around them, all the ligaments and the tendons, and it's going to help you too. And then from here, let's just go ahead and bounce that foot a bit. And just bouncing. Yeah. And this exercise too, just like the others, we always want to remember that we want to do the opposite side too. So I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to replace one foot down, take the other one over, and begin my circles. And what could you do besides just sit here, circle? We could do some wrists, but we'll do that in a minute. Now let's just go ahead and make some circles here. But this is your creative process. I'm just going to show you a bunch of things that you can do as coming as you are into your yoga chair. Okay. And just maybe think about that. Think about every time, maybe not every time, but start with a few times in the day that you come into the chair. Think of it being a yoga practice. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe one thing that you do. Okay. I'm just let my foot go. I've taken it around both ways, just doing this thing that people do when they're sometimes nervous and they're waiting, right? Their legs are crossed. And then I'm going to uncross. And I'm going to go ahead and take myself a little bit more into the chair. All right. So that my hips are up to the back of my chair, but not my back. Because again, in this chair that I have particularly, has an angle. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take my hands on the legs of the chair. Maybe you don't, a lot of times you find yourself sitting on a sofa and there's no legs of the chair. Then just hold on to the cushion All right, so hold on somewhere to the legs or to the cushion, and let's take both feet and just slide them forward and back. Just doing some repetition here. Yeah, it might drive somebody crazy that's sitting next to you, but you can say, okay, I'm doing something. I'm moving, I'm getting my blood flowing, but more importantly, I'm getting my lymphatic system moving, because blood is going to flow no matter what, as long as our heart is beating, right? But not a lymphatic system, and we want to make sure we get flowing into that system as well. And I'm going to take my feet down. And then I'm going to go ahead, lift up one, lift up the other, take them out, heels together, toes out, bring them together, toes in, heels out, okay? Internal rotation, back here to neutral, and then external rotation to get out. And you should feel strengthening in your legs and in your core if you're not leaning up against the back of your chair. Feet straight, toes in, heels out, take that into that internal rotation. Back here, push through your heels, squeeze through your glutes if you want, open up, squeeze through the glutes, find that external rotation, bring the feet together, let's take them on out, heels out, toes in, and bring your feet back together, releasing, feet down. Good. All right. So let's come on back towards the front of the seat. Take our legs wider now, if you can, wider than you had them before. And we're going to place our forearm on one of our legs. And again, think about it. Watching TV. Can I do something like this? Let's go ahead and do that a few times. And you can always slow it down and take it with breath. Inhale, pull down, exhale. So take that speed that you want to go. Or slow. Or faster and not necessarily with your breath. All right, find what feels right for you, but move, okay? Move and groove. And extend. Find myself pressing into my forearm on my thigh, opening up, shoulder extends, open, I gaze upward. And I breathe. Good. Taking myself back to the side here, taking myself up. Other arm comes up as well, really lengthening through both arms to my hands. Taking my hands down onto my knees before we go to the other side. Let's inhale, chest forward, chin up. Exhale, curl tuck around into yourself. Bridge of the nose up. Tucking into self. Bridge of the nose up. Tucking into self. 2 more times. And sitting up straight. So I know if you do cat and cow while you're seated watching TV, you're going to miss something, right? So you might want to do that during commercials. Go ahead and place your forearm on your thigh. And I keep saying TV, you know, so whatever that might be for you, where we fixate our gaze on some type of technology. Let's go ahead and take our arm up, take it down. Doing it with breath or doing it faster than your breath or taking a slow breath. Inhale. Exhale. And switch it up, okay? Do what feels right and good for you. And then taking arm over. Find yourself in that nice opening, maybe looking up a bit with your heart, shoulder pulling back. Finding length with your inhale, depth with your exhale. Bringing myself up, both arms lift, inhale. Press down into my feet, cactus arms. Pull those knees back, inhale. So we're in goddess, pull those knees back, open up the hips, come on down with your elbows, lift up, inhale. Maybe exhaling through your mouth, inhale through your nose. 2 more. Exhale down. Come as you are, yoga practice. Let's go ahead and bring those feet in. And so normally our practices are an hour long, right? So you may not have an hour to sit and do another yoga practice on the days that you're not in class. So if not, then can you do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 1 or 2 poses? And again, how can you do that in your chair? And it doesn't have to be, let me think, what did Julie say? Do I inhale here, exhale there? What is this? Just move and do something that feels really, really good for you, okay? So let's go ahead to get into our lymphatic system right here, all right, that runs down in here into our leg area. Hold on to your chair, and I'm going to take my leg out and bring it in. Out, toes point out, in, toes point in, okay? If you can add that, that would be great. Again, we're just getting that external internal rotation, and any type of walking that you do, moving, getting up, squatting, doing some things that are going to move that lymphatic system. Like we just did a lot in the upper body. Now we're doing some in the lower body. And I'm feeling this in my leg. Don't know about you. And come back to neutral. Find yourself seated on your sits bones. And let's take that other leg for a ride. Exhale. Inhale. Toes out, toes in. And just lifting to the place that feels right for me. Maybe not lifting up much. Maybe I'm just more like scooting, okay? Just find where your body is able to move and feel that that's happening right here in the groin area, okay? That's where we want to have some of that movement. And 1 more. Whew. Bring it back here. Feels good. All right, so now let's go ahead and do some of our regular poses, I guess, so that you can, if you want, build those into your day as well. But again, it can be just any of these kind of movements, right? And so let's go ahead and come into eagle pose. So I'm going to cross my legs. We've been here before, staying here, or again, lower. Keeping legs as close together as possible. Maybe coming here and see how my ankle went behind. Not everybody's is going to do that. That's okay. You might be here, 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 any place. Cross and kind of give a little bit of a connection there with your thighs, connecting one into the other. Okay. And then let's come into our arms. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, right arm under left. Find yourself in your eagle arms. Might be right here. Find yourself here if you do. And let's just teeter totter. Come over to the one side. Bring yourself up. Come over to the other side. Lifting with your obliques. Take yourself down on an exhale. Take yourself up on an inhale. Let's check into your spine. Is it straight? Come on over. Maybe finding that you can come a little bit more each time. Squeeze into your legs. Have a firm base on that one foot that's grounded, okay, to support the body going back and forth. Let's do 1 more each side. Good. And now we're going to take it into a twist. So doing something just a little bit different with our eagle arms. I'm going to just take a look over my shoulder, looking back, keeping my knees pointed forward, squeezing into my legs, bringing myself back into center, taking myself over in the other direction. Look over that other shoulder, looking back, breathing, coming back. And before we let loose, let's take 2 circles in one direction, 2 in the opposite. Up, exhale. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and just loosey-goosey those arms. Let them do what they feel like doing here. Let's take our leg off and maybe let our legs do what they feel like they want to do right now. To just release out of that bind that we were just holding our arms and our legs in. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So now my opposite foot stays on the ground and the other one crosses over here. And then maybe I fit that behind. And just seeing if that feels right or where on your shin you may be crossing legs. We're kind of giving it a little bit of a squeeze because again, this eagle is also not just about joints, but it's also about our urogenital system. Okay, let's go ahead and lift arms up. This time, my left is coming under my right. So I'm doing the opposite cross. I've got my left leg is over my right, but just be doing the opposite of what you did the last time. And trying to keep myself centered with my arms. I'm just going to take my neck and let one ear drop to one shoulder. Let the other ear drop to the other shoulder. So we're going to do something just a little bit different here. And take that slow, maybe slower than I'm going. And then just let it hang to one side. Pull your arms over to the opposite side. Feel that in your neck. Nice stretch. And then arms come back to center. Head comes back to center. Take your ear to the opposite shoulder and take yourself over with your arms coming in the opposite way. Feel that in your neck. Neck rises up, arms come back to center. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, come to bowing eagle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bowing eagle. Inhale up. Exhale, come over that one shoulder, looking over. Inhale back to center and take it in the opposite way. Bring yourself back to center and releasing those arms, releasing your legs, finding some movement that feels good for you. Maybe some arm circles or some wrist circles or some ankle movements there. Okay. Find what feels right. Let's just take it like that a bit. Okay, good. And from here, let's go ahead and work into warrior one. We haven't done that for a little while. So I'm going to come over to the side. We did warrior 2 series the last time one of the times we were together recently. I'm going to take one leg over the side of my chair and the other one I'm going to have it stay forward here. That will work if you want to just keep your leg like that. Or if you want, you can take it behind you and come on to the sole of your foot there. Okay. And not have it too far behind. Have it more forward than back, because again, we're working into warrior 2. If it were warrior 1, we would want it back farther so our hips could be forward. But we're really here in warrior 2. We're working to have the hips more forward. Okay, well, when I say forward, yours towards me, mine towards you. all right, not with forward towards the knee. And so having the leg like that's fine because you just get a nice stretch, but you can also just take the leg in. And so it's basically sitting in a wide angled position, but we're on the corner of our chair. I'm going to lift our arms up for, oh, and I said we're doing warrior one though. Oh, we're warrior two right now. So let's go ahead, do something here, and then we'll move into warrior one. Sorry. Let's go ahead. Let's bring ourselves one direction then the other. I'll get to see you guys next week. I just wanted to make sure that I was going to be available for Mark, for anything that he might need. And so even an hour away might be too much, but next week he'll be fine. I need to at least be at home teaching the yoga classes. And then coming back to center, let's go ahead and take our hand to our knee, on that front knee, or maybe start to slide it down. Or if you came as you are and you have a block, you can use that block and take yourself here into extended side angle. Bringing our hand to thigh or shin or calf or ankle or foot or block. That block has 3 heights, remember. Okay. And I push down with whatever part of my hand is touching whatever it reaches, and the other hand is reaching up. Can you see how I'm just really kind of pulling that up? And I know you can't see the top of my fingers there, but I'm going to start to open up my heart a bit here. Good. And then I'm going to go ahead and rise up to warrior two, arms. And I'm going to come into reverse warrior, hand on leg of chair or seat of chair, bring myself back. And take myself forward. And now let's teeter-totter between this forearm, extending, bring myself up, take myself back. Inhale's here, exhale is here. Inhale rises, exhales back. Inhale, rise, exhale over. Inhale, rise, exhale over. Bring yourself up. Exhale, hands down. So let's take both legs forward. Before we go to the other side to warrior two, just kind of come onto your heels and let your legs go back and forth. And I know it's kind of funny with me in jeans, but I thought, let's come as you are. And again, it can be however. And we just work with what we have, right? We don't have to be fashion statements, and we don't have to have a specific outfit on to do our yoga, right? And that's why I love the chair, because the chair says that I can do yoga any place, anywhere, anytime when I have a chair. I don't have to throw a mat on the ground. I have to throw my body on the ground. I can just move myself. Instead of being so stagnant in that chair, I can make it a dynamic place to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take one foot facing away from me and checking in to knee and ankle positioning there. And kind of hard to tell with my pant and that little bell bottom type thing. And then this leg is pointing towards you, knee, foot. And I'm just checking on the alignment there as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and begin, take myself over here, take myself into this position, pull back on that shoulder. Find myself really in this nice lengthening of the side body. And if you used a block before, please feel free to do that again. Arm can be straight up. Your gaze can be up, it can be side, it can be down. This arm can come over here if you'd like. And breathing. Pressing down into our feet, opening up through that side body. Arm comes up, bring your body up, arms expand out. And then we're going to come into that reverse warrior. Here we are. And then bring yourself up and take yourself over right here. Forearm and your other arm reaches bicep by your ear. So we'll go from here to here. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try not to let my knees cave inward, okay? Try to keep them pointing more towards the pinky side of my foot, right? So that means I have to kind of pay attention there, have some engagement in my hips. One more set. Coming back here, and let's take ourselves left and right like we did earlier. We started that way. Let's take ourselves this way at the end of this side of our warrior two. So I kind of see now why we wear loose fitting yoga pants or, something that's movable. Take your hands down rather than having a zipper right there, right? Because now I'm starting to feel that. And I'm not going to zip my pants and let my belly hang out here, you guys. Let's go ahead forward now. Seated at the edge of our chair, and let's just rock back and forth. Kind of pushing down into the chair, almost lifting some of your weight off of your hips. Taking weight bearing into your arms. And here we are. Oof. Good. Let's take a few breaths here. And before we go into warrior one, let's just do a little bit of heart opening here, starting with our basic cat and cow. So I'm going to open up my heart. Inhale. I'm going to exhale, curl, tuck, round into cat. Inhale. And exhale. We've done this already today because we talked about how this would be the commercial break thing to do, right? Because you're not able to look forward so much and see what you might be missing. You can miss those commercials. 2 more sets. Good for you guys. All right, so now what we're going to do is another little heart opener. Take your hands, interlace behind you, squeeze and push down. And let your shoulders open. As you notice the shoulders open, the heart pops forward too, okay? That's another thing about Come As You Are yoga. I already kind of talked about my bra and how that was slipping down my shoulder, but it's also a lot more comfortable with a sports bra on. Sorry, not trying to be too personal. That's not so personal. Take yourself up and release your arms. Let's take a couple shoulder rolls back. With that, let's let the arms come back to make big circles. Make it around. Here we're working in the pecs now. And to increase that pectoral work, another simple thing you can do, isometrics. Take your hands together. Let's find fingers touching each other, matching up there, palms together, elbows out, and let's just pretend like we're doing nothing, but we really are doing something, and that is pushing in our hands, palms into one another. And where do you feel that? In your arms. Or do you feel it in the shoulders or the chest, or do you feel it at all? Do you feel it in your hands? Keep the pressure coming into the fingers too, so it's not just at the base of the palm. Okay, keep pushing, keep smiling. Good. Well, let's do something reversing that. Let's tuck our fingers into one another and let's begin to pull. And can you feel that sensation somewhere, right? And pulling, right? Really pulling, really feeling that. Pulling out instead of pushing in. Keeping a smile on my face and keeping my breath going. And good. Releasing my hands down. Before I go into warrior one, I'm just going to sit here and take a few breaths. Like I've done a lot already in just 30, 40 minutes, I guess. We're going to go ahead and slide our hands down. Stop wherever you want. Might be here, keeping your back flat. Might be here with some of your chest coming into your thighs. It might be here, fingers reaching the ground and the crown of the head coming down, but only if that feels like something you want to do. Do not lower your head lower than your heart if that makes you dizzy. Okay. Releasing wherever you are, and then slowly with a rounded spine, bringing yourself up from that flat spine, and then that release that some of you took, taking your head up really, really slowly here. Good. All right. So warrior one now. We've done our warrior two, and that was very pretty challenging and very active, moving from warrior two into extended side angle into that reverse. So let's slow it down a bit with warrior one. I'm going to come back over with my foot and leg facing out. All right. And now this time I want my hips to be mostly forward. So I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to use this block and place my shin on it so that my hips are mostly forward, okay? And I'm trying to keep this knee underneath this hip, this knee above that ankle that's in front. So that is going to work right there. Or you're holding yourself up with the ball of your foot, or you're extending that leg back behind you or kind of outward so that the hips stay forward still. And that might be a little struggle for you on your ankle. So only do that if you feel like you can maintain this shoulders forward, mostly hips forward. There's still a little outward motion there. So take it where you feel it's right. You don't have a block. You really don't need one. You can just let your knee kind of drop down and balance with that ball of your foot there, okay? And so now, difference, warrior two took our arms out, warrior one takes our arms up. And here we are, expressing ourselves, fingers open wide, come into cactus, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Good, we're lifting up. Exhale, left hand comes back to the seat. Right hand comes down along the side of you to the seat. So we're taking both hands to the seat. Take your shoulders back. This is something a little bit different we haven't done before in warrior one. But we're taking kind of that hard opening, but with our hands pushing down into the seat to lift our hearts up a little bit more, to pull our shoulders together a little bit more. We have taken and interlaced our fingers. So if you're finding this is difficult, you can go into here and this. All right. So either way, all right, just offer you another option. When I press down in the chair, it seems like I get a little bit more into my chest, but that's just me. And then I'm going to bring myself up and take both arms, lift them up high here. And then from here, I'm going to take my forearm onto that front thigh again. And I'm going to take some swinging motions here. Take, and let's do maybe 6 times in one direction. And then 6 going back in the other direction. Good. Taking myself all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. 2 more. Inhaling through my nose, I'm cleansing. Breath through my mouth. Rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Taking hands down, releasing my leg from that block if it was there, just bringing it up. And I'm going to take both feet over in that direction that the one leg was. I'm going to just sit on the side of the chair for a moment before we do the other side. I'm going to have my feet parallel, my knees and my ankles lined up. And then I'm going to just take my hands to the back of the chair. And I want to find a little stretch here. I want to try to keep my knees going forward as I stretch back, twisting here. And then bringing myself forward. And I'm going to slide one hand down and one hand up, come to the base of my spine and take a look behind me here. Good. And then releasing, coming back and taking myself to the other side now. Okay. But before we do, let's stop in the middle. Let's take some time for transition and come to heels and let's windshield wiper. Good. And bring yourself in with your feet, keeping yourself upright. Just take a couple breaths here before we go into the opposite side for warrior one. You guys have done a lot. You've done some cardio already. You've done warrior two. You've done eagle and goddess. So many different areas of stretching, opening up. And here we are in warrior one. Don't anybody tell you that chair yoga is not something that can be challenging, because it definitely is and can be. And we've done some isometric work as well. So let's go ahead. We'll come on over to this side. And I'm going to line up this front leg, just checking into my knee and my ankle there and making sure that it's all where it needs to be. And then this leg is going to come down onto the block or extend back behind me. You guys figure out what works for you, okay? I did this the last time, so I think I'm going to stick with that. Or again, if you like, you can stretch this leg out back here. And you do, you're going to feel that right here, and you're going to stretch and lengthen the back side of that leg, okay? So, or you can go back and forth. Like if that gets tiring, you can come back, and if you don't have that block, you're just letting that knee hang. And I'm going to fix myself up here so I feel like I'm supported on that block. My hips are forward, shoulders are forward, arms lift up, inhale. Let's take 4 cactus arms, inhale, exhale, inhale, lift, exhale, inhale, exhale, one more time, inhale, rest. Exhale, this hand comes back. It finds the back of my seat or the chair behind me, actually the side of my chair. I'm going to take my hands pressed down, or if this is better for you than having both hands pressing into the seat, you can interlace your fingers and take your heart opening that way. All right. So just find one that fits for you. Just trying something different this time.
And I'm letting my foot in front take weight. I'm letting my foot, the ball of my back foot take weight, and the shin on the block take weight if you have yourself that way. And I'm letting them take weight so my heart can lift a little bit higher. And then I'm slowly rising up, taking my arms up. Inhale here. And exhale, taking my front forearm to my thigh. Backhand is just here for now. I'm going to just take some circles, making these big circles here. Yeah. Making my breath, maybe moving my fingers, making fists and flicks. And that adds something too. That's something really simple you can do seated in the chair. Just fists and flicks, fist and flicks. And you're going to feel that. Go ahead and reverse in your forearm muscles, in your fingers. It's going to help you be stronger when we're trying to open up those jars, okay? There we go. Good. And then lifting both arms up, inhale. 4 times, exhale. Just arms, inhale. Exhale. Squeezing shoulders, inhale. Exhale. Rising up. Exhale. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Hands come down, taking that back leg forward. Yeah. So that both feet are parallel, running in the same direction. And our knees and our ankles are lined up. My back is nice and straight. Don't have anything to lean on anyways, except for leaning on, I guess, my connecting with, counting on my obliques, my core to keep me nice and straight here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and start to take a look back over that back shoulder, taking my hands on the back of the chair, just for a little leverage there. Breathing. Slowly releasing. Find myself here for cat-cows. Good. Coming on up. And let's find ourselves back forward in our chair. And come as you are yoga. I want you guys to kind of make that kind of a little mantra for you. Be as you are, come as you are. And so I've given you a few things to think about and maybe do in this next few days. One would be keeping a little journal, diary, whatever you want to call it, notebook. And this is where I sat. This is how long I sat today. This is a chair, kind of seated position. I was on the sofa, I was on the futon, I was sitting at the table, and just kind of noting that. And then start to note, okay, I'm sitting and I'm eating. So I'm not going to do a lot of crazy things, but can I take my foot and can I do some rotations, maybe with my foot when I'm eating? Can I come up and down on the balls of the feet while I'm eating? Can I take and just let my knee come in and out, right? Or both knees in and out when I'm sitting and eating. And you might explain to the person who sits with you, this is what I'm going to do when I'm eating every once in a while. Or let's see, where else are you seated? You're seated watching TV. You can run through any of those exercises that we've done, including during commercials. You can do your cat and cow, and you can, do this rocking. We did this rocking, right? So you can rock. We rock this way. Okay. We didn't do this, but you could do this too. All right. Fingers up, elbows out, and I'm not twisting my whole body back. I'm just kind of twisting from here up, all right? And my middle fingers are just touching one another as I do some of that. Or maybe you can do some of this. What can you invent? How creative can you be in these times where supposedly we're sedentary, but we don't have to be? What can we do to activate our circulatory system, to activate our lymphatic system, right? Right in here. What can I do? I can do chicken arms, okay? I can do cactus arms, right? I can just do some rolling or rowing, all right? Or swimming strokes, all right? So today's practice was to say, come as you are. Come all the time, as often as you can, into a yoga mindset, into a yoga body, right? Where you know that you are doing something that's going to improve your balance, your strength, your flexibility, your determination, your toning, so many things that yoga does for us in this movement. And I feel really activated after this practice tonight. So it's been really good for me to do this as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you all next week, at least virtual, but I hear talk at Vessel that they're going to try to work on something where we can start to see a few people, maybe for small classes, and still keep it hybrid with doing it as a Zoom. It just might be, instead of me Zooming from home, I would be Zooming from Vessel Health with 2 or 3 people in the classroom or outside that want to make that trip and come and do that because they've been missing that actual experience of, being with other people. But I really like the Zoom because I know there's a lot of you that, because of distance or lifestyle, just doesn't work for you to come here, or come to Vessel Health. You can come to my house if you want. But this is really, I love being with people. And today is the actual day that we had today, in reality, where I am right now, is when we had our gathering at Vessel, and it was really nice to see a lot of you there and just to be with people again. I think we all really crave that and miss that, but we all still are really wanting to be and maintain our safety and our good healthy practices. So anyways, I hope that this was a little different for you, and this Come As You Are yoga. And I feel good. Like I said, my feet are fine with my shoes. Maybe the brothing was a little bit funny. And then, a little bit after a while, the button and the zipper, but that's okay. So come as you are, do what you can with what you've got. That's one of my mottos too. I'm doing what I can with what I've got, and taking our hands together just to honor one another, and even in this really, really virtual way, right? But thank you, and I hope you do come and view this, and I look forward to seeing you next week for our May classes that will have already started by the time I see you next week. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it will be in May. So from my heart to yours, thank you for your presence. It's a gift, whether it's this way, in person, or virtual, like live streaming, they call it. Okay. All right. Namaste. Take care, guys. All right. Thanks. Head chopped off, coming on down.